Ugh, you know that feeling, right? You're stuck in traffic, just inching forward, and then there it is. That familiar nagging ache that starts in your lower back and shoots down your leg. For so many of us, the daily commute is a literal pain. But what if understanding the why behind it all was the very first step to making your drive comfortable again? Let's break it down. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by really nailing down that specific pain you feel on your drive. Then we'll demystify what sciatica actually is and connect the dots to why your car seat is the culprit. After that, we'll get into real, practical solutions. And, this is super important, we'll cover when it's time to stop self-treating and go see a doctor. All right, first up, let's talk about that pain. I mean, we've all been there, but it's more than just a simple backache, isn't it? It has a very specific and very annoying personality. Does this hit home? That sharp, almost electric feeling that travels? It's not just sitting in one spot. It feels like it has a mind of its own, starting up near your hip and zinging its way down the back of your leg. Here's the most important thing to hear right now. You are not making this up. It's a real physical response to what's happening to your body in that car seat. And you're definitely not alone in this. So let's get to the bottom of why. Okay, let's put a name to this beast. We hear the word sciatica thrown around all the time, but what does it actually mean? It's probably not what you think, so let's clear up the confusion, shall we? Okay, and this is the key. Sciatica isn't a disease itself. It's a symptom. Think of it like a check engine light for your body. It's an alarm bell that's going off, telling you that something is pressing on or irritating your sciatic nerve. And this is the perfect way to picture it. Imagine this massive nerve is like a superhighway for electrical signals, starting in your lower back and branching all the way down to your toes. When there's a traffic jam on that highway, you feel the backup all the way down the line. So what's causing that traffic jam? Well, it's usually one of these three things. You could have a herniated disc that's bulging out and pressing on the nerve, or maybe a little bone spur is poking it. Or the entire spinal canal could be narrowing, a condition called spinal stenosis. In every case, something is physically pinching that nerve superhighway. So now we know what's getting pinched. The big question is, why does it seem to happen so often when we're just trying to get to work? This is where we connect the dots between sciatica and your driver's seat. It's really a chain reaction, just like you see here. You're sitting for a long time, maybe you start slumping. That poor posture puts a ton of pressure on the discs in your lower back. That pressure can eventually cause a disc to bulge, and bam, it irritates the nerve. You know, it's kind of like kinking a garden hose. The pressure builds up, and it's gotta go somewhere. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Spine specialists have shown that sitting puts way more pressure on those lumbar discs than standing does. Now add in the subtle vibrations of the car on the road, and you've basically created the perfect storm for nerve pain. Okay, enough about the problem, right? Let's talk about what we can actually do about it. This is your personal toolkit for fighting back and making that commute bearable again. So, people always ask, seat cushion or one of those lumbar rolls? Well, think of it this way. A cushion just adds general softness, but a lumbar roll has a very specific job. It props up the natural S-curve of your lower back. By keeping that curve, you take the pressure right off those discs. That's why targeted support is almost always better than just soft padding. And check out these awesome, simple tips backed by health authorities like the NHS. What I love is how easy they are. You don't need fancy equipment. A rolled-up towel can work wonders as a lumbar support, taking just a minute to do a gentle stretch or slapping a cold pack on your back when you get home. These little things can make a world of difference. And here's a super simple number to remember when you're setting up your seat. 90 degrees. You want to aim for a 90-degree angle at your knees, with your knees being about level with your hips. This one little adjustment helps keep your pelvis in a neutral position and takes a ton of strain off your lower back. Easy to remember, huge impact. Now, all these self-care tips are fantastic, but we have to talk about something really serious. It's so important to know when this is beyond self-care. We need to recognize the red flags that mean it's time to call a professional. Okay, please pay very close attention here. If your pain started after a bad injury, like a fall or a car accident, if the pain is sudden and just off the charts severe, or if you experience any numbness, actual weakness in your leg, or, and this is a big one, any trouble controlling your bowels or bladder, these are not things to mess around with. Let me be crystal clear. These symptoms can be signs of a much more serious problem that needs immediate medical help. This isn't something to wait and see on. Please don't delay. Get it checked out right away. So you are now armed with the knowledge to start taking back your commute. You can start turning that drive from an experience of pain into one of, well, just a boring drive, which is what we want. It doesn't have to be a huge life change. Maybe it's just grabbing a towel to roll up for your drive home. Or maybe it's spending 30 seconds stretching before you even get in the car. The power is in your hands. So what's the first small change you're going to make?